Hello, everybody, this is Purge, and I'm bringing you a first-person gameplay commentary. This is from my new computer, kind of. I mean, it's the same computer, I just reformatted my hard drive, so everything is new and fresh. If everything looks slightly different, number one, I decided to finally, because I'm stupid, finally record in 1080p for XSplit. So let me clarify what this is so you guys don't get confused and leave a bunch of comments later. For local recording, it's not a big deal for me to record in 1080p at all, because my computer can handle it and whatever. Streaming in 1080p is probably not something that I'm going to do for a bit because it takes a lot of bandwidth and would cause a lot of XSplit or a lot of streaming problems for some of my European viewers, so I'm going to stick to 720 at high frame rate. I'd rather do high frame rate than 1080p anyways because higher frames looks a lot better in my opinion, and very slightly lower resolution quality is not the end of the world. But for YouTube, the maximum frames per second is 30. It won't go anything above that, so I might as well do 1080p at 30 frames per second. So the files will be bigger, but it doesn't matter because my upload's like 30 megs per second or something ridiculous like that. So we are a-okay. So I played this game last night. I've been playing a moderate amount of Dota lately. I got into the Hearthstone beta like 2 days ago, and I started playing that a lot. And I'll probably make at least 1 or 2 Hearthstone videos, and I'll give you guys my thoughts about the game. Coming from somebody who used to play Magic the Gathering as a kid, not that I was never competitive about it. It was just casually with friends. But I'm sure I'll make a Hearthstone video one of these days, and you guys can check that out. Anyways, this is a Dragon Knight replay, as you guys could see from the title. It was a pretty darn close game, so I thought I was going to upload it. I know I made a Dragon Knight video about a month ago, and I know there's a billion other heroes that you guys want me to play, but what always ends up happening is I get into a pub game, and then I go, who do I want to play? I don't know, and then I just random. And then sometimes those games are worth posting, and then I post them, and unfortunately it's not the hero you want. I promise that I do have a list of heroes that I should be working on. I really need to make a post-it note of that, so I actually remember who they are. But I will be doing that soon, hopefully. Okay. Dragon Knight. Couple things. By the way, this is the first Dota game that I played with my new settings, so you'll see me alt-tab a little bit like this. Like right now I'm going through my settings, trying to adjust things. Things like camera speed were a little off. I still have to get the drivers for my mouse so that I can adjust my DPI a little bit. It's actually a little too fast for me, so I made a couple mistakes this game that was at least partially based on my mouse being a little too sensitive. I just felt it didn't feel completely comfortable and normal. It was close, but not completely comfortable. I did get random gold, so I went for the greediest build I've ever invented, and this is the Midas Rush build. This is not extremely greedy, it's just relatively greedy. Pretty darn greedy, but not obscenely bad. Basically, what I'm doing is going for a really fast Midas, and that's because I'm doing a safe lane Dragon Knight build. When you do safe lane Dragon Knight, you almost always, depending on your strat, if you're in a normal pub game and you want raw damage and items, I recommend the Midas. You grab the Midas because Dragon Knight isn't the hardest farmer in the game. He also isn't the hardest carry in the game. So getting a Midas is really nice. The other really nice thing about Midas for Dragon Knight is it'll get you to level 16 faster. And the faster you hit 16, the faster you have a ranged Scotty for no gold basically. So you're kind of investing the Midas into both having really good items earlier in the game and also having a ranged Scotty earlier in the game. That's really beneficial. Also, getting more levels of your stun isn't that bad either. So, I blocked this creep wave a little bit because I didn't want it too close to the tower. Anyways, the reason my build is a little greedy is because I'm going for a fast Midas. As Blitz explained as I started the game and commented about, he said if you really want to be the greediest, you do the load build, which is you go to lane with just a tango that somebody pooled to you, and then you get a Midas as fast as possible. This is without a gloves, this is without a stout shield. So I was anticipating at least some pulling, so I grabbed a stout. I grabbed a 1 tango because I'm anticipating grabbing some dragon's blood eventually. And then I'll have probably enough regen to sustain the lane. Our MMR was kind of weird here because the guy we were playing with over here is fairly lowly ranked on MMR. Which is why we're seeing a dual offlane Magnus Timbersaw, by the way. I guess they didn't really have a good way to lane this. They definitely picked too many mid heroes. So, unfortunately for them, they're just going to have to deal with this. Dragon Knight's base damage is really not that great, but it's not horrible. So I'm not in the worst possible situation ever, but the Gloves of Haste does help a lot. Towards attacking fast, I guess. That's about it. And getting me to the Midas a little faster, of course. And also, if you really want to rush Midas, another thing you can do is just not buy the Gloves of Haste right away. You can just go Stout Tango. I could have in this situation, and then once I get 1400 gold, I fly the recipe out to me, and then hopefully I'll be able to get 500 gold by the time it gets here, and then I can buy it from the side shop, basically. That is that would be the purpose. Maybe not the best mana management coming out of our Witch Doctor here. But it is kind of good to do Maledict Harass, honestly. I decided not to grab the stun, by the way. In almost all Dragon Knight games, especially as safe lane farmer, especially if you're free farm, I'll go stun, breath, breath. You always want breath to be 2 levels by level 3. It's not a big deal if you don't get it level 1. If you're playing mid, you usually get breath at level 1 for the nuke, so you can get last hits with it. But since I'm in the safe lane and I went a little greedy on my item build, I wanted to grab at least 1 level of Dragon Blood, which gives me 2 HP regen per second and also 3 armor. Also, I want to just give you guys a disclaimer. Blitz played really bad this game because he had like 400 ping. It was really bad. I think he's playing on his laptop, which is the crappiest thing ever. While he's still in Canada, so unfortunately he didn't play very well this game. But a lot of the times I'll look mid because he was complaining on Skype about how he literally couldn't move his hair for like 4 seconds. So just a disclaimer about that. Please don't go flame him about this shit. Okay. So Breath of Fire to get a CS and to hit 2 heroes. I figure it's worth my mana to do this. Again, the mana usage there is a little unnecessary from the Witch Doctor, I would say. It didn't really accomplish very much, basically. And it's really important that you're careful with how you use your mana. In fact, he only has 1 clarity potion left.
I accept this honor on behalf
he just died to creeps, by the way, if you guys were curious. He couldn't back, so sucks. You guys like my shield? It's worth a lot of money. I think it's worth like $100 right
Radiant's middle tower
which is pretty crazy to say. Some people pay $100 for a piece of digital item, but man, whatever. It's kind of weird to last hit against two heroes as well. It makes things a bit tougher. I do have the benefit of attacking really fast, and Breathe Fire is pretty also useful. I maybe shouldn't have spent my mana to grab CS at this point, just because, like, we're contested by a dual lane. There's kill potential with a Witch Doctor, so I should just save my mana for burst damage or when somebody uses Maledict, rather than just hitting both for two nukes. I mean, the 2 nuke damage is honestly pretty good, but pretty lucky bounce there. On the bright side, his overuse of spells is actually really scaring them away from the lane, it seems. It's one kind of nice thing here. So I'm about 2 last hits away from making my Midas.
Deny.
Unfortunately, our Witch Doctor decided to purchase consumables and fly them out to us, so
Not today.
I had to run it back.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I got the Midas. I can't remember who got the Flying Courier this game. I asked somebody to get it. I think it might have been me, actually, that bought it this game. But if you're playing a support tier, never do this. Don't. I believe the stuff that he bought was like a Salve Tango Clarity, something like that, because he was almost out of regen. It's really not worth it to do that. It's much better to get a Flying Courier first. And if you would have been a little bit more mana conscious, then we would be able to get our items at a more reasonable time. So he was able to kill the Storm Spirit after he died, I think. Alright, there we go. Yep, I bought the flame. Okay. We can talk about some of Dragon Knight's other abilities, or more specifically, his second one. Dragon Tail is actually one of the best stuns in the game for a common ability. It doesn't do very much damage, but the important part is that the stun duration is really high, and this includes at level 1. At level 1, it only does 25 damage, but it stuns for 2.5 seconds, which is essentially a roar. It's pretty good. I ended up using my Midas on a creep here. It's not always recommended that you do this, though, because you can get a lot more EXP gain out of a neutral instead. Usually, by the time you get Midas, you can Midas a big creep and you can hit level 6. It's pretty common about how it works out. Just as I got the Clarity Potion, I stupidly... I knew that the Shockwave was going to come, but I didn't know that I was going to get Clarity, so I didn't position myself appropriately. Dragon Tail doesn't scale well at all, though, so make sure that you don't level this first, by any means. It's not worth it. You're getting 0.25 seconds of stun and 25 magic damage per level. It's not worth it at all. Breathe Fire, for example, scales by 80 damage between level 1 and level 2, and then you get, was this 70 damage? Yeah, 70 damage and then 60 damage. So it scales best between level 1 and level 2, and peters off a bit, but it's still really good to level this up for nukes. Leave Dragon Tail at 1. It does enough stun in the early game. In late game, you can finish it off and max it out for the extra stun duration. It's fine to do that, but early game, it's really not worth it. Just get 1 Dragon Tail, max Breathe Fire, and usually at least 1 Dragon's Blood so that you get the slight armor and HP regen over time. We had a little miscommunication here. The plan was to actually kill him, but now we're in some trouble. I stunned the Storm Spirit because he was the biggest damage dealer on their team, and it still didn't matter. They were able to kill me, so... Well, they actually have a charge on the Witch Doctor, so he's going to die as well. The miscommunication that we had...
middle tower is under attack.
The plan basically was to stun Maledict and then stun with the Witch Doctor. Unfortunately, I assumed he would stun first, and he thought I would stun first, so he just dropped the Maledict because he was anticipating me stunning, and nothing happened. So that was personally my fault from miscommunicating there. I'm going to TP back to the bot lane. This is a little scary because they are kind of pushing the lane, but I should be able to run to the jungle quick, grab a Midas on a neutral creep, and that'll give me some good experience. So Mudgolems are actually pretty good. I think they're level 4, so they're not quite as highly leveled. They don't give as much experience as like Satyr or Dark Troll or something, but they're still pretty good. Much better than like an Ogre camp, for example. I think melee creeps are level 3. I don't know the exact number of EXP that they give you because the levels aren't the best way to tell. If you're curious about that, by the way, guys, it's the same as looking at a hero. You click on a hero, you can see their level, and you can click on neutral creeps and do the same. Now, again, like I just want to clarify, the level that they are doesn't mean that they all give the same EXP. A Satyr creep is level 6, a Dark Troll creep is level 6, and I know for a fact that I'm pretty sure that a Dark Troll gives more EXP than a large Satyr does, so it's not extremely easy like that. So keep that in mind. I'm pretty sure you can look up all that data online, so I should be a little scared here against 2 heroes. I'm still pretty squishy, especially because I went for a Midas first, so I have to be really careful about getting caught here. So rather than chance missing that last hit, I just decided to breathe fire
middle
instead.
Tower is under attack.
And of course I'm going to miss at least 1 CS under tower. I still have 45 CS actually at 9 minutes, and this is really good considering I've been contested by 2 melee heroes. I'm honestly not too upset about this. I'm gonna spot a Timbersaw here. It looks like Storm is actually coming to the bot lane again. This is the part where I run for my life. And survive. Ooh, that was really scary. I think I clicked on the map. I don't remember if I had that, like, I was testing the click on map thing because it felt really weird, but I don't remember exactly what I came to the conclusion of. I think there's a setting or something that's like the map click immediately. Like, if you accidentally click on the map, it won't necessarily do it immediately. I think there's a setting like that I need to fix. It's actually even really aggressive for me to stand here, because if Storm was still here, I could easily die. I don't know how much mana these guys have, but I'm sure with a little focus they could take us out. I actually have the most CS in this game, which is pretty nice for me. It's pretty low CS from everybody, though. They should have more CS than this. The fact that I'm in the lead is not good. Even the Storm Spirit's only at 38 at 10 minutes. It's really bad for free farm. In fact, the Spirit Breaker only has 34 CS for a free farm lane. So I don't know what trench tier the Witch Doctor put us in, but he put us in some trench tier. It's great. It's really great. So, item build after this. Once you grab Midas, you're going to get pretty good EXP and farm for the rest of the game. So the things I want to focus on, usually I'll grab Treads first. This is going to alleviate some of my mana issues because I can Tread switch to Int before I end up casting. I'm also going to grab a Magic Stick just because it does give me some burst Int as the game continues, and it's always useful to do that with Treads. Switch to Agility, pop your Magic Stick, and then switch back to Treads to attack again. We're going to pause for a second because I think Blitz was trying to reset his Dota, I think, and see if that fixed the issue. He had like huge ping problems. Later he ran into actual computer problems or like freeze up for a long time. I don't know what the heck was going on, but he had a lot of issues this game. Storm Spirit's quite a bit ahead of him. How many CS is he? Actually has 24 CS, which isn't too bad considering all the problems that he had, but we can talk about my hero more though. So Breathe Fire is really good. Max that out. It's your main damage dealer in the early game. If you don't have Breathe Fire levels, your hero is a worthless auto attacker who has a really short range stun. It's not really useful. Dragon's Blood is really useful against big physical damage dealers. If they don't have things like pure damage or a lot of magic damage, it becomes really difficult for Dragon Knight to die. So against, in my loss, they actually have a Timbersaw who does pure damage. Magnus does some decent magic damage. Storm Spirit does a lot of magic damage. Rubik does some magic damage, and Spirit Breaker actually does mostly magic damage. You guys might be confused about this, but actually the Greater Bash, his bashes and his ultimate, that's all magic damage. So that means they actually counter my hero decently well, though a lot of them do end up still doing some right-click components. So I have some counters to the heroes, but not a ton. So So for the early game, I'm going to go Treads into a Midas. If you guys don't go Midas, I really recommend trying out the Drum build. If I didn't get a Midas, I would have Drum and Treads right now, which is a really good early game build. Most importantly, because it gives me more mana pool. 9 int would give me approximately 13 int 13 mana per int, and I'm not even going to try this one. I'm just going to calculate it. Okay, you can't see this. 13 times 9, which is 117 mana. That's pretty good. That's an extra nuke, basically. So that's pretty useful. It also gives me 9 agility, which is 9 attack speed, and it gives me 9 strength, which is 9 damage, and it gives plus 3 damage, so it gives me 12 damage. It gives me a little attack speed, like 14%, or 14 attack speed increase because of my aura. All around a pretty useful early game move, or item that will give me an okay early game presence. And this is common in pro games as well. They'll go like Drum, Treads, BKB usually, as a safe farming Dragon Knight or a mid Dragon Knight, and then they will go push. Sometimes they'll skip the Drum and go straight BKB. It just kind of comes down to preference. Though, as time goes on, I'm starting to find Drum is useful, but if you want a damage item, it's not very good. It's really not very good. I kind of like it because it gives you some chase potential and things like that, but we were arguing with the Nature's Prophet at this point. I don't know where he's from, but he was being a jerk, basically. He's trying to resume the game. He basically just said go in all chat, which the enemy team assumed, oh, okay, we can start now. And we're like, he doesn't, I think I typed he doesn't speak for us or something, but then the game was going to start. Anyways, whatever. So Blitz is going to be AFK for a bit.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Seem to remember he actually didn't take very long to get back in anyways. One really nice thing about grabbing Treads as well as the Midas, though, is that... that was a dead Nature's Prophet here. The really nice thing about the two is that Dragon Knight's agility or attack speed doesn't really scale as well as it does on a typical carry. He actually does have pretty good agi gain at 2.2, so he does kind of carry okay. But a typical carry hero is usually an agility hero, and as agility heroes get more agility, they not only get damage, but they also get attack speed. So grabbing attack speed items on strength heroes is usually pretty important. So Treads as well as Midas are kind of a really nice component of playing a Dragon Knight. So I'm going to shift to the mid lane. I want to try to slow down this push if possible, since I have Breathe Fire. If I can blast the fire on the creeps and some of the heroes, it could be really useful, and I can sneak in here into the trees, and that should allow me to maybe snag some. Actually, I can even initiate, perhaps. Just got to ulti first, and there's a stun. I was having a couple misclick problems there. It's a little weird. We did end up getting the Timber Saw, though, with the arrow. His arrow actually did hit there. I wasn't quite sure. If he wasn't lagging, he obviously would have stunned after my stun, and then we would have gotten the Timber Saw without too much problems. But grabbing that kill there was pretty big. We defended the tower. It's important you defend your towers. Even if you're really far behind, it's still possible to set things up if you have the hero advantage. And we did in that case, so we were able to snag the kill. So it worked out pretty good for us. And we take a tower, so this is a really important kickstart to our economies, especially because we're all pretty far behind. So very important you do stuff like this. Group up with your allies, defend your towers, even if it looks like it's going to be gone. Just be a little safe as you initiate. The Spirit Breaker actually built a dagger on this game, which proved to be quite useful. He was the safe farming position, so it kind of hurts their carry potential a bit, but it does give them a ton of ganking potential. So we should be able to pick up the courier as well. We lost Mirana in the exchange. And I think some of our support heroes and our bounty were staying a bit too long here. But I'm going to be able to shift back into the jungle. Looks like Nature's Prophet in the meantime is taking the bot tower. I don't know if they saw the bounty or not. He got arrowed for a really long time though. So bounty's going to end up surviving. That's pretty cool. We can try to take the bot tower though. I'll shift over. I don't have my ulti. The level 1 dragon ulti, by the way, does 20 damage per second to towers. It's really, really strong. So don't underestimate it at all. And for some reason, they're actually not defending their tier 1 tower bot here down here. They definitely should have TP'd at least 1 or 2 people, and they could have contested, but instead we're just going to be able to take it. So this is a really, really big mistake from them. They're ahead. They shouldn't let us take free towers like this, and then we take another tower to another tower advantage. And they just got kills. They should have been able to take a tower and contest it. If they just TP'd like one guy and made it a little hard for us to do that, it would have been really tough. I actually TP'd back to base in this case because I was fearing a Spirit Breaker. Just playing it really safe here. I did not want to get caught. And actually the charge is going on the Mirana instead, which is really weird. It's like all the way across the map. At this point we saw the SB. I can't TP to this one, unfortunately. Unfortunately, that's going to be our death of our Potom. I grabbed the Shadow Amulet next because I'm planning to get a Shadow Blade. This leaves my HP pretty low, but I still have like insane amounts of attack speed now. I've got 90 attack speed from all my items. So while I don't do a ton of damage per hit individually, we did see the Spirit Breaker charge we told him to back. While I don't have a ton of damage right now, this will add up in the future. And grabbing a Shadow Blade is just all around a pretty nice item for a Dragon Knight. I'm gonna kill the small creep first because I'm planning to Midas the big one. And my GPM continues. Let's see what I'm at actually for GPM.
Top tower is under attack.
So I'm doing pretty good. I'm actually just about at the top, pretty much. If the Storm Spirit didn't get all those kills, then he would be not as comparable to me. I don't want to nuke too much this game, by the way, because my mana pool is really low. Since I skipped the drum, and I don't have a bottle, and I don't have a soul ring, I have to be really choicey with mana. And this is kind of the reason why I just ended up auto-attacking a lot of neutral creeps right now. I have some HP regen, so actually quite a bit of it since I have 3 levels of Dragon's Blood, and I have a Stout Shield as well, so I won't be taking that much damage from these creeps anyway, so I'm just going to auto-attack. Usually it's actually best to kill the large creep first, by the way, but for some reason I like killing the small ones first because then I get gold faster. I don't get gold faster, I just get pieces of gold sooner or something like that, but it's probably not worth it. You're probably better off just killing the big ones first. So it's like we're going to lose some heroes once again while I'm jungling. We have wards up at least, so it's not like we can't completely see this coming. But yeah, we just lost 3 heroes for almost nothing.
Radiant's top tower.
In the meantime,
is
Prophet
under
and I keep
attack.
farming. I informed him about his ward being less than ideal there. They should be able to take our tower at this point, though. There's very little way that we're going to be able to stop them. Prophet's picked up his Shadow Blade, so he's currently split pushing. Another point to be made, probably wasn't very smart for everybody to build Shadow Blades this game. We have a Potom, we have a Bounty Hunter, and then everybody builds a Shadow Blade. I built a Shadow Blade, and Nature's Prophet built a Shadow Blade, which meant that 4 of our heroes have Invis moves, which makes it really obvious for them to pick up Dust. So, kind of silly for me to make a Shadow Blade this game, but it does give me offensive potential. At least I can initiate on heroes and things like that. Alright, I've got my level 2 dragon now. This is the red dragon. In the past, this only did splash damage, and for that sense, it was actually a mistake to level it up to level 2 really early. And the reason is because you don't want to get rid of that dragon poison. The dragon poison was super good at pushing, very, very good at pushing, and a lot of the times you would want to push before getting the AoE damage because it would kill your pushing so much. I'm going to TP to try to help out the Spirit Breaker here. See if we can get a kill. We will be fighting this one. I'm going to stun the Magnus to prevent him from doing anything. I think I gave Fire Breath for the Rubik here. Yeah, I did.
My hexes die! I lost.
Ooh, that was so close. I thought a Starfall was going to kill that, but did not. So Mirana gets a double kill. We end up killing 3 of them. That was actually really good for us. We reacted appropriately to the Spirit Breaker initiation. It's so important that you guys TP support that stuff. And despite me still not having very much damage, I still actually contributed a lot. I stunned the Magnus, I set him up so it hurt his RP potential, and then little Breathe Fire for some damage, and some Chase Down as well. So it's very important as well that I tread switch before I casted everything. If I would do it without treads, then I'd be burning 150 mana just to do my stun ulti combo. So.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, the poison damage is now in the red dragon. That's what was changed. It was basically changed so that Dragon Knight can get his level 2 ulti at 11 and for it to not be a complete mistake. I should have been attacking this small creep the whole time because my Midas was coming off cooldown, but I didn't check that. So I've got Shadow Blade now. This means that I can initiate stuns in melee range on opponents and hopefully burst them down. Also, the benefit of having Midas at this point is I'm already putting levels into my Dragon Tail, so my stun duration is going to go up pretty rapidly. I most likely shouldn't be spending any mana on creeps though, because again, Shadow Blade costs 75 mana. I made my mana problems even worse by picking up this item, so I probably shouldn't be using Breathe Fire just to take out jungle camps. And I should definitely have gone back to base to anticipate ganks from whatever various heroes. Luckily, we did get the track off on the Spirit Breaker before he died, so a bunch of assist gold going there. And I'm going to continue right-clicking a bit. I could maybe make some kills happen, but like I said, I definitely should be going to get mana right now instead of just jungling in the jungle right-clicking. I was kind of aiming to just like farm the win though, but I definitely should have gotten mana after that fight. There's no point for me to have no mana. The guy said he didn't speak Spanish because I was telling him not to ulti every 60 seconds or every minute. So I was trying to type that in ally chat. I accidentally typed it in all chat. I don't think I did a very good job conveying what I meant to say though. Guys, I'm being charged. I'm like really far away from getting any mana as well. This does not look good. But boy, am I gonna kill that camp. Oh, that's awesome, he got blocked. Oh damn, he got unblocked. Alright, they're gonna Midas me. I really wanted kill me. I really wanted a Midas recruit there. Then that would've been sweet if you just like stayed blocked in there. They have just used 3, they did use 3 dust for that, so that's like 270 gold, basically, that they just used to try to kill us. They all bought dust, I'm pretty sure. So. So it's a Dagon with an Ogre Club on Spirit Breaker. I was a little unsure what I wanted my next item to be. God, is my audio even working good? Alright, good it is. I didn't even check that before I booted this up, that was really dumb. Could have been really stupid. Is this even the right mic?
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.
I think it is. Tab, tab, tab. Okay, thank God. Oh. I didn't even set my audio up. I just like made a scene and was like, oh, this will work. Alright, it's working though. The audio is working. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Alright, so my audio works. That's awesome. I've died twice, but I have almost the most CS in the game, which is pretty good. And I have a Midas. Spotted a storm here, so I'm gonna initiate on him. I'm super greedy, so we lost that kill. I definitely shouldn't have hit the stun or the attack first. It was really stupid to do that. He had the remnant on the high ground, so he was able to tell that somebody was coming. And then I attacked him as well, so like set up full radar, and then the guy just balled away. I should have just broken the stun. If you break the stun, we would have gotten the kill, because we had a Potom sitting there anyways. We could have just done like a level 4 Starfall and like an arrow as well. There was no way that he would have survived if I just stunned. So that was really stupid of me. There was no point at all. We were going to kill him. Potom is now going to die mid. I think he actually lagged out really hard during that part. Like nothing happened on his screen for like 10 seconds or something, so... Which is kind of why it looked like he just kind of ran up and died. I ended up making a Sange first. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do Sange and Yasha or a Halberd, but I needed some damage items first part. And also some utility wouldn't be that bad. I ended up making a Halberd after this, and it wasn't necessarily just because I thought it was a good counter, it's because I really like Halberd. But it is in fact a good counter against these heroes. Especially against Spirit Breaker and Storm Spirit. Especially Storm Spirit, if I can cast it on him, then it prevents him from, it's the same as using a Ghost Scepter. I talked about how good a Ghost Scepter is versus a Spirit Breaker the other day. It's a very similar situation with just disarming him. It's the same situation. Except I can use it on them, and then they can't cast, or they can't attack my allies, so works out really nicely. Also, the evasion is pretty good. They do some auto-attacking, so it ends up working out okay. This is a good time to take CS and TP out, by the way, because I really don't want to die. It's very likely that I would be getting charged in a circumstance like this. They all went missing in action. Looks like I ended up just TPing to the top lane instead. Somebody's getting charged over in the jungle. Actually. I ended up just going to farm instead of being with the team though, so I don't know if this is a mistake or not. I mean, technically our teammates are getting initiated on. They have nice wards set up in our jungle so that they can initiate the charges, is the problem. Prophet is really into trying to steal creeps. And he sprouted me because he's angry, because even though I was in this lane first and he showed up trying to steal CS, so this was the moment where I decided that I had had enough and I decided to report him. And I'm happy to announce I got a message saying somebody got banned this morning, and it's definitely this guy. So this guy got banned. Felt so good. I was like, oh yeah, I know who that was. So he's banned. Or at least timed out or something. He was seriously being a jerk. He kept calling us idiots and stuff. Like, he completely deserved it. It wasn't just because he sprouted me there. I promise. That guy absolutely deserved to get reported. Okay. So I have 1,000 gold. think this is where I report him. Watch. Click, click, click. And here comes the accept button. Here comes. Here comes. There, I did it. Okay, he's reported. I couldn't believe he survived right there. That was pretty crazy. He actually had a lot of really clutch escapes during this game. He generally did a nice job considering Spirit Breaker should just kind of kill him every single time. So, alright, Midas is up. I guess we're gonna go on a gank. Probably should. I have plenty of farm basically. Alright, here comes my stun cast. That was my stun. I don't know why, but it didn't stun. It was really weird. I swear to God, though. Did you guys see me click on him, though? Like, I clicked something on him, and then my hero, like, went into melee range, and then it, like, right-clicked or something. It was really weird. I was quite confused myself. I don't know if it's a bug or if I just, like, misclicked or something, but I swear to God, I clicked stun on him first, and Blitz, like, freaked out because he was, like, mad. He was upset that the last time that I was greedy and hit first. Luckily, he went for the pull on one of our heroes, when in reality, he was the one getting ganked, but... anyways, I got my Halberd finished. Halberd, pretty good mid-game item. It gives you 45 damage, which is really good considering I have all this attack speed. The evasion is really useful. I can maim for a slow, which is okay, not that really needed. But most importantly, if I use the active aggressively, I can disarm Storm for 4.5 seconds. I can disarm the Spirit Breaker for 3 seconds. Either person is really useful to disarm. Can you believe this? He actually survived this. I'm so flabbergasted, but he ended up surviving it for some reason. I don't know what the SB was waiting for, but he was waiting for something and nothing happened. I saw that the Rubik was coming. See it? I think it happened again there. I'm not completely sure. But I was able to kill the Rubik.
I'll char your bones.
Actually do really good damage now, and with the Shadow Blade we can make things happen and I can snowball. Shadow Blade's one of the best snowballing items in terms of kills because it allows you to set things up and get some burst damage. That first hit does a bonus 150 damage. It's usually, if you're actually playing really seriously though, it's almost always better. Let's see if I can do anything here. I really should use the Halberd before I did anything else here. Luckily they did not have detection. So be able to pick off the Spirit Breaker, and I'm now running away from him. He actually didn't chase me, so I'm just going to TP back to base. Oh, we did end up losing our Bounty Hunter. But we got 2 kills. I mean, maybe we didn't need to lose. Yeah, that was a charge, I guess. They initiated, so I guess that's not really our fault. I was a little unsure what to get at this point. I knew that I needed damage. Plus damage items would have been pretty good. For example, a Maelstrom is actually really useful on Dragon Knight. The extra attack speed is pretty good, like I said. Getting some magic burst is also really good. This is one of the few cases where magic damage and for right clicks is better than physical damage because they have a Timbersaw. Timbersaw is really high armor, so shooting lightning at him occasionally is a really good way to get a little bang for my buck out of my items. Other heroes that are countered by this, Spirit Breaker has pretty high armor as well, so getting some magic nuke out of that is good. If anybody ends up grabbing a BKB, then the lightning damage ends up becoming irrelevant because then it doesn't do any damage. Considering trying to jump on one of these guys mid, I really wanted to, but it's probably not very wise. So I'll just farm the mid lane in the meantime. But I did not make it a Maelstrom. More attack speed is always going to be good. My attack speed is okay right now, but it's not. It could be better, honestly. So, ooh, I'm getting charged, guys. Oh, wow. Okay. Alright, so this is why. We did spot some heroes up there, and we knew that they had a gem, so we're trying to play this a little safe. I was able to stun the Timber at least. Now, when you use the Lothars while you're dusted, you are actually slightly slower by 10 movement speed, I believe. Yeah. But I think the overall movement speed advantage of Shadow Walker is better, because it'll give you about 60. Yeah, I think it does. So, not a good fight for us. We actually lost that one pretty bad. We lost 4 heroes for nothing. I believe we didn't kill anybody there. Yeah, I don't think we did. We lost everybody. So that was a really unfortunate fight. Unfortunately for us, they knew that we were there because they were they charged me quite early. So I was looking to set up an ulti, but it didn't work out at all. So, all right, bought a Mithril Hammer. Ended up ulting here. God, I really wanted to get this kill.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Just needed to breathe fire. I think I was misclicking a little weird there, though. So, I messed up pretty bad there. I shouldn't have fought it. I shouldn't have tried to get the kill because it was all just for one Spirit Breaker. He did overcharge, but if I would have clicked a little better, I think that was one of my times that I had a lot of trouble with the sensitivity. But I should have charged or stunned him under tower, and I should have right-clicked him a couple times, and I probably should have just, like, I don't know, disarmed somebody or maybe something like that. I'm not quite sure. Oh yeah, I think this guy was tracked, as you guys can see by the icon.
Thank you. Not go as expected.
Unfortunately, the track ran out, so we didn't get the tracker, but he did end up getting the kill, which is pretty good. It's kind of funny. I think they actually walked right past each other. So, ended up dying. Used my ulti as well. Almost got the Spirit Breaker kill. I could have right-clicked it better, though. I think attack moving as well. Even if my stun was a bit late, I could have attack moved that better, I think. I was trying to rely too much on the breathe fire to get the kill. So, a couple of mistakes were made. On the bright side, I am still level 16 though. I'm gonna go towards the top lane because there's a big wave there. The Storm Spirit had about 1200 HP, which is pretty good.
Is under attack. Radiant
Since I'm going up here, he's gonna go meet the creep waves. This is perfect timing for me. I was barely able to get that kill. It was really, really close kill, and really important kill as well. I got 2 levels out of that, I'm pretty sure. 2 levels out of that. How much gold? I got 360 gold out of that. So it was a huge kill. Storm Spirit's dead for a bit. They can't really team fight as much. That helped out a lot. I am also able to finish my Maelstrom now because I have the gold. It's about 1200 to go from the hammer to everything else. Just gotta get another Gloves of Haste, and you gotta get the recipe for 600. I didn't have a TP scroll here. I should have gone to the side shop and TP'd. That would have been the best choice. Instead, I ended up buying a Maelstrom with TPs. Yeah, I think this is probably the biggest mistake I made this game, was not going straight to this fight. Instead, I decided to go back to base for mana first. Honestly, they didn't really know it was going to keep continuing, though. I thought it was just over. And that never really ended up happening. So, this is too bad. By the time I finally showed up, everybody was dead. Alright, that was not worth going for. I should have backed it right there. That was really dumb. I don't think... Yeah, they did have a gem here. Luckily for me, I was able to run away, though. Alright, I can see that the Timbro's a little out of position. At this point, it's just better to run back. I have no mana left, so... My damage output still isn't that great either. It's okay against some squishy heroes, but against tanky heroes, it's really not very high, so I gotta play it safe. I really shouldn't have gone in after the Spirit Breaker got forced. I should have backed right there. It was versus like 4 heroes. I think I was just frustrated because my allies died and I made a mistake by getting there late, so it kind of made me want to like stay and fight. I really should also sell my magic stick, probably, and just pick up a TP scroll instead. Because the TP scroll could have changed that fight pretty massively. Even if I was just in the team fight as a ulti, and without my nukes or my stuns or my Shadow Blade, it still would have been useful, and I maybe could have gotten some kills, so...
Radiant's middle tower has been denied.
That was me testing out my sensitivity a bit, because it still felt weird. They wanted to push at this point, so I just managed to creep and walked on up. Actually, have pretty good tower pushing. I don't think... Let's see what the Prophet has. I don't think he has any... Yeah, he doesn't have a Desolator or anything yet, but... I'm just using my Shadow Blade here to walk through the possible ward vision. It's good to do that just so that they don't always know where your whole team is. I didn't show top, so maybe they didn't know.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower
and we'll be able to take top tower.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
So we can go high ground here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
They're
attack.
Trying to match us in Rax damage. We're actually doing a ton of tower damage though. A little worried about the Mag RP though.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He definitely went a little pretty much too far though. So it's a nice hex follow-up from the Prophet here. Right here, I should have stunned. And I halberded instead. That was a big mistake. We could have killed the storm. Was able to get that kill though. And here my stun click was a little late. Tried to stun that guy, missed it. Now I'm gonna stun when I'm really low. And now I'm gonna die. So it's like my actions were always like a fraction of a second behind where they needed to be. I should have stunned the storm, but I didn't pan my camera fast enough because the mouse felt off. And I just halberded him instead. I should have stunned the... Who else went high ground? I don't know. There were a lot of stuns that I missed, basically. Opportunities. I almost got the kill off on the Rubik, but I stunned late, stuff like that. It's like, it just made the team fight go slightly worse a couple times. That really impacted things greatly. We probably should have backed after we killed the Timber. We probably should have won the fight, honestly, is what should have happened. We should have won that fight, period. There's not really an excuse for losing that fight when we killed the Timber for free. So, that was pretty silly. Oh, you guys can't see pop-ups for some reason. I don't know why those are popping up on XSplit now. I don't think there was an update. I'm using Game Source. I'm not using a screen engine, so I don't know why. I'll have to fix that because you're not supposed to be able to see pop-ups. Like, you shouldn't even be able to see this, but you can. I don't know why. XSplit, what did you change in your Game Source? Why am I seeing Dota 2? Maybe I had Shift Tab up when I added the game source or something. I'm not sure. I'll have to add it later. The only reason it's really annoying to have that is because when I'm streaming, people will spam add me with like stupid names just to be on stream. That's really frustrating because I have to set myself to offline. So I gotta fix that. Or I have to deal with spamming, and that's not fun. Alright, so no new items for me. I've got 2100 gold though. So I think at this point the idea was get an AC. Increase our damage output a lot. More attack speed is always fantastic. It would actually counter the Shivas a lot as well because AC gives attack speed to your allies. They're going on mid. He's going to die pretty easily. And the Prophet decided to go on this one. I didn't like this choice to initiate here. I think this was a pretty big mistake. I was able to dodge the RP at least. Oops. That was me halberding a creep. Pretty high skilled plays. I think at this point I was trying to figure out if I was going to buy back or not. Well, that was a pretty bad fight. Needless to say, the Nature's Prophet decided to call us all idiots, especially me. He said it was my fault. Except he actually initiated on like 3 heroes after we immediately lost one of our core heroes, which was really stupid. I was able to follow up and kill the Spirit Breaker at least, but the Spirit Breaker bought back and charged back into the fight, which put us at a 5v3 disadvantage. At that point, we're not going to win the fight, so that's a lost Rax. I was considering buying back, but they were going to take the Rax no matter what, and if anything, I was just going to feed. So, plus, like, buying back, man, I hate buying back sometimes, like, a lot, because it just pushes you so far away from your next item. And especially in a case of Dragon Knight, where I don't have the hardest carry in the game, I really have to be mindful of my gold, and most likely I need to save that stuff. If I don't save my gold and continue my item progression, it's going to be really hard for me to outcarry eventually. SB actually getting pretty low here. And again, Prophet making a really good choice. God, that's doing like no damage at all. Oh my god, he had 39 armor. Holy crap. That was like absolutely crazy. That's gonna be a dead Rubik now though. So everything's going pretty good.
Tower is under attack.
Except for the fact that, you know, we just lost a Rax. Pro's no good.
Oh, look at me go!
So I think they wanted to take Roshan quick because they had 2 dead heroes. It's a little greedy, but I should use a Midas there. That was stupid. But I must not have noticed. Didn't notice. So into the Roche pit. I don't really remember why we determined this was so safe.
An easy shot. Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
I really want to stun that guy.
Let the fun begin. Let it go.
Then I want to help with this guy if possible.
Radiant's middle
able to
tower
clean up the
is
SB
under
though.
attack.
Shadowblade actually paid off pretty hard. I think at this point, I don't know if they actually had a gem or not, but
Killing spree.
I wasn't actually sure if Storm was still around here, but I did not have the mana to deal with him. Unless I would do a Shadowblade initiation or something like that. My damage is actually getting really solid though. Even though I haven't grabbed the damage item in a while, it's working pretty okay. Again, the slow is really important. And I'm almost maxed out on levels. This helps us as well because it gives me an extra, 9 levels of stats, which is like, 18 strength and 18 agility, and even the int is really useful at this point because I haven't bought a single int item at this point. The main reason I didn't want to buy drums because I knew that I would run out of item slots eventually, especially with Midas, and I'm actually at that point right now where I'm out of item slots. So, 40 minutes in, I got the Midas at like 5, it paid off by 15, so I got like 25 minutes of Midas gold acceleration, which is like, every 3 minutes you get 190, so I'm probably made like, I don't know, 2,000 gold out of the item, something like that. I don't know exactly, somewhere around there. So it's definitely paid for itself by now. I don't quite have AC mana just yet.
I'm over here.
This is the Prophet not hexing, by the way. He could have hexed that entire time, but he didn't for some reason. Guys, even regular Dragonite can do damage. Just waiting until I got my stun back up again. So that was a pretty huge fight for us. We lost our badmouth Prophet, and we got kills. So that's pretty good. That's why that creep was there forever. I was like, why is this creep still staying there? How do we not kill it? I got stunned by the Witch Doctor stun. Prophet buys back so we can push.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Midas.
Dire's structures are fortified.
My stun was a waste there. Stun stacked, obviously. Alright, I disarmed the Spirit Breaker. And getting that stun on the Storm is so big.
I'm known for my great side rush. Oh, look at it go.
I don't really like Blade Mail that much on Timbersaw. It didn't really seem that useful to me. And I stunned him, and that should be a kill now. So, that was pretty dumb. He like really wanted to get a kill there, and it wasn't worth it at all. In fact, I was able to stun him again. Basically, every time that you stun a Storm Spirit, he should be dying. Unless you get a Bloodstone, you really don't have that much survivability, so the guy paid pretty hard to... Oh, I should have stunned there. I think he got the kill. I didn't anticipate him actually landing that arrow, so I just kind of like decided to do it. Crush the tower here.
You're not done.
I actually did want to die there, which is why I just let the tower hit me. I wanted the Aegis to go through because I knew it was going to run out soon. So, got my AC on the way. We're able to take a mid-rax.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack. Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
I will generally recommend getting AC before you make your Maelstrom, by the way, or your Mjolnir. Mjolnir is actually really useful, but the grabbing a Maelstrom alone is pretty useful. There is a decent amount of right-click damage that hits me, but that's the only really good reason to grab a Mjolnir is so that you can reflect some more AoE damage. If you're playing like against a PL or something, you really need AoE damage. I think Mjolnir is really good, but if you just have a Maelstrom, you're fine. Just grab Maelstrom, make an AC afterwards, especially if you're having trouble living. Grab an AC in this case, and this gives me even more attack speed. This gives me 15 armor. This gives my whole team 5 armor and them attack speed. It's a much better team fight item than grabbing a Mjolnir is. So, I think AC is definitely the right choice. Next item that I want, I can finish the Mjolnir, and I could also go for a damage item. Blitz recommended a Daedalus because my attack speed was already pretty good, and that's a fair point. I was a little worried about evasion, so I was thinking maybe MKB, but actually looking at the heroes, they don't have any agi carries, so Butterfly is not something that I have to worry about at all. So I think I ended up going for a Maelstrom right now, I believe. Yeah, I'm queuing up a Maelstrom. I bought the recipe there, and then I'm going to send the courier to go buy the actual Hyperstone from the secret shop. Actually, it was kind of a waste for me to sell my Midas here, because I didn't really need the space, because I was about to make a Maelstrom. But as long as I carry a TP, then it's worth it, and I should be carrying a TP, honestly. I've been really greedy this game about not having a TP scroll. Because dang it, I didn't want to hold the TP scroll. But I still got 44 minutes, or 39 minutes out of my Midas, so I got, what, 29 minutes of Midasing? Pretty good. And if you pay it off in 10 minutes, that means that I probably made about 4k gold out of it. So it's basically one item. I got one major item out of it. If I didn't have a Midas, I would have had one less AC or one less Heaven's Halberd or something. I guess AC is a little bit more expensive than a Halberd is, but it's a little bit more than 4k gold. It's like 30 minutes worth of a Midas, I guess, for a major item. But there we go. So now I got Mjolnir. I've got AC, Shadow Blade, and a Heaven's Halberd. My HP is a little lacking, but actually the Halberd covered me a lot there, because 20 extra strength is just under 400 HP. So the Halberd actually, I think, helped a lot this game, believe it or not. The Maim, again, is not very useful, but it gives me 45 damage. It's a moderately good damage item. It only costs about 4k, so it's pretty low in cost. And it's very, very good aggressively towards shutting down right-click carries, or right-click heroes of any kind. So gonna try to get something happening on the bot lane, perhaps. I attack really fast. Using the Mjolnir buff on myself is also pretty important if I do end up taking any right click. And we're just looking for some heroes here on the bot lane. See if I can find it. Ooh, they actually did have sentry here. Almost done a creep. I did stun the Magnus, so no RP for a bit. Hello, Storm Spirit. That's a general swell. So everything worked out really well. I was able to basically tank everything and then barely get out in time as my allies covered me. It was really close. The stun on the Magnus was extremely crucial as well. Despite it being more of a panic thing, I stunned him and then he was hexed later and he was not able to get his RP off. And him not ulting is a really, really big deal because that could have easily turned the team fight. If he RP'd me, for example, and stunned me for 3 seconds, I wouldn't have been able to kill him. My attack speed is so good now. I have like 2 blue fireballs flying at the same time.
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen. Dire's top barracks has fallen.
Again, my attack damage isn't super high, but my attack speed's really good. And my items look really cool, so like, I just love my Dragonite set so much. It is like the coolest shit. So items that I would have gotten from here, either a heart or a Daedalus probably for damage. One of those two would have been good. That was a really hard game though. Blitz wanted to quit it a couple times. He's like, this leg sucks really bad. There's no way to win this game. I don't want to play this. And I was like, no man, I got this. And I got it. Midas paid off. We had pretty good team fights. They did throw a lot in the mid game. Some of their fights were kind of 1-by-1, especially when the Storm balled back in to grab a solo kill or try to grab a solo kill. It wasn't worth his life at all. He actually has Boots of Travel as well, which kind of gives him crappy attack speed. He never grabbed a BKB. He didn't get a Linken's, so it was really, really easy for me just to kill him every fight. I mean, imagine how different this would have been if he had a Linken Sphere. If he balled in and I tried to stun him and I broke a Linken's instead, no stun for 10 seconds, he would have continued what he was doing, probably killed somebody. Obviously, I would adjust to that by using my Halberd and then a stun, but that's a Halberd out of the fight, for example. I think Linken's actually would have done a pretty good amount this game. We didn't have that much single target nuke, so that would have been really good from him. He probably should have grabbed defensive items, and they probably shouldn't have thrown their lives away so much in the mid game. So that's Dragonite. That's replay commentary. I hope you guys learned a lot about Dragonite there and how cool his items are, and I guess that's about it. I don't know if there's much else to say about Dragonite. I'll probably do a stream pretty soon here. I have to get my new stream settings set up since it's a new computer again, so I'm going to have to reset up all the numbers and the weird, confusing things. So I'll hopefully get to streaming soon. Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate it, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.